It's always been my dream ever since I was 10 years old. I watched it on TV, and I always wanted to do something big with my life. I always wanted to be in the entertainment business, whether it was movies or. And as soon as wrestling came along, that's when I knew that this is for me, and I never lost that passion. But it's all
Cool.
about paying dues. Working your way up the ladder.
So my earliest memory was, I think when I was probably about 3 or 4 years old, we had a cabinet full of like VHS tapes. He had a tape of WrestleMania 5, and so I put it in, and the main event, of course, was Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. I remember just sitting there, even as a little kid, just in awe of these two like larger-than-life figures. I knew of the Team Vision Dojo in Orlando. So I reached out to them, and I told them, look, looking to continue training, what do I need to bring? And they said, you need to bring, money for training, athletic clothes, and a good attitude. I was like, perfect. So I started training at the Team Vision Dojo. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. It was worth every minute of it. Started training, and it was a totally different world. Early September of 2011. I joined the Team Vision Dojo on a Monday, and that Friday there was a student show, and I was told I was going to be in just a battle royal. But then that night, someone didn't show up for the opening match, so I ended up getting that opportunity. I found out probably like 10 minutes before it was time to go out, and the match was a train wreck, but it was on my end. Just being it's a different world, and I wasn't ready for that. I promised myself that would never happen again. So my trainer told me, I might be a little while before you're ready for your next match. I started training just as much as I possibly could. I was there every class they had. Within a few weeks, my trainer told me, like, wow, he's like, you've come such a long way, and like compared to where you were at just a month ago. And so I had my first match after that within a month. Learning process, it's, studying, just getting your feet wet, being out there, and also just studying, watching guys that I grew up, studying their mannerisms. Even as a little kid, even when I first started watching it, there was guys that I hated just because of the way they acted. But then I look back years later, I'm like, okay, what was it about them? What was it that I hated them for? Of course, years later, I look back and I admire them for what they did. But, just from hustling over the years and grinding hard, and, I always say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I've just been knocking on the door for a long time, and it was just all about timing. I think it was a combination of, right place, right time, and in early January, I was invited to be an extra for Raw and SmackDown, and, it went very well, and they just told us, keep in touch, and that's what I did. In April 11th, I got invited to be an extra for NXT, and I was very fortunate. I got to have a dark match against Leo Rush. Amazing experience, incredible opportunity. It was my first time there, and I was incredibly fortunate to have that, experience. You never know when it's your time. I've been fortunate enough to have, I would say, probably close to 400 live matches, and I've been fortunate enough to compete in numerous states. And a really big part of it is, networking and making connections. Always be respectful to everyone, no matter what. But I always say, whether it's one person in the audience, whether it's 1,000, like, you got to go out there, you got to be on point at all times, because you never know who's watching, and you never know when it's your time. And, you never know what the future holds. I just know that I'm far from over, and I'm going to keep hustling and do everything I can to be back.